Hey guys, calling back with this week's video with more records, some books, and some more movies, television shows. Now to start out with, if you don't already know it, I'm a horror fan. If you can tell by the posters and old posters and things around here. I like classic horror mostly, but I do get into some of the newer stuff if I think it looks worthy of watching, which a lot of it these days is not. Anyway, first off, first record I have is Hammer Horror Classic Themes. Right here, 1958 to 1974. I just got this in the mail. This has a bunch of theme songs from classic Hammer horror movies. And that's pretty cool. There's what's his name? Peter Cushing on the back, and on the front is Christopher Lee as Dracula, and I would assume that that's Van Helsing there on the back. It's a gatefold. It gives a history of Hammer horror there, a short history. There's a lot of documentaries on YouTube I suggest you watch if you're into old movies. There goes Morty in the back, if anybody didn't see him. Anyway, watch those documentaries they're really interesting. There's more than one. There's several that came out over the years. And this is on a bright green vinyl. And it has some nice labels on there. There's Christopher Lee as the Mummy on one side, and on the other side I can't quite hardly figure out what movie that might be. She, or one of the vampire movies maybe. And that's an interesting one. I'll be listening to that tonight. And this week I have some special guests. You can't see them right now, but I have a couple of pups with me here. One is very sick, and he's taking some antibiotics. He's laying down here. His name's Bert. Bert, are you well enough to get up? Are you well enough to get up there, Bert? He's a little sick. He's got a cough, and he's taking some antibiotics. And the other one's Cola. He must be in the other room sleeping. And Morty's still around here. He's creeping around. He's getting along fine. He's kind of creeping around the edges of the place, making his way around to his window and all of that. I have to keep his food in my bedroom now for a bit because the dogs will lap it up in a second. He's only a little dish this big, and their tongue's like this big, and their tongue just swoops out the whole bowl of cat food, and it's gone in like a second. Anyway, back to the records. I have 3 here. I'm not going to open these. These are all Shonen Knife. It's a Japanese band. Inspired. They're sort of a punky sound band, but at the same time, they're very quirky and fun. Here we have one here. A lot of their songs are about food and whatnot, but they're very fun. It's a very fun group, and if you haven't checked out Shonen Knife, I suggest you do. They're on a tour of the United States right now. I believe they have a new album out, which I have not seen. Summertime boogies on this one. I want to eat Choco Bars, Devil House, Ice Cream City. They have a very fun way of doing their music. But they were inspired by bands like the Ramones and that type of thing. These guys have been around for, I guess, about 30 years now, and I just now kind of found out about them. And if you hear some coughing in the background, that's Bert. And here's another Shonen Knife. Very fun, colorful covers. And again, I have some I always show eclectic stuff here. If you should be used to it by now. And here we have The Moods of Marvin Gaye. And this is still sealed, which is amazing to me. Still, it has that little clip out of it right here. It's amazing to me that this is still sealed after all these years, and I'm going to open it. The Moods of Marvin Gaye. And here's a Nielsen that I don't have. Nielsen Early Times. I don't think this came out while he was alive. I think it's one of those... I don't know. I can't remember what year he died, but this came out in 1977. And it says this is also available on 8-track. Some of you might know more about it than me. But here's a Nielsen. Early Times. I didn't read the whole bio on the back later. Huh. Yeah, I can't tell. And now we have some various country records. These are like $2, $3 each. Gene Autry's greatest hits. Back in the saddle again, and you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Those songs, yeah. Pay attention to my singing. George Jones, Country Heart, 24 favorite songs. And there he's got his hair chopped off at the top there. And I like that suit jacket he's wearing. It looks very, it almost looks like a curtain. Anyway, that's a nice jacket. And here we have another George Jones, I'm a People. These are the early George Jones records, which I don't see them very often. I always run into his stuff from the 70s and 80s, usually. George Jones, Where the Grass Don't Grow and the Wind Blows. And those dirty bastards lied to us and took our land. Oh, anyway, here we have Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. This is another one I have no idea who it is. It's on Fontana Records Mono. I just grabbed it because it looked interesting. The Game of Love. Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. That should be interesting. It looks interesting anyway. And lastly on the records we have the Box Tops Non-Stop. I like these guys' music. Old stuff. What was that in there? Okay. We got some books here. I got some more of these sci-fi books. Now, in the last 2 weeks, I've found about 30 of these. And I'm just going to show a few at a time in a video here and there. I'll try not to show them on every video just so you don't have to see the same thing all the time. But these are the Ace Classic double cover science fiction books. Vintage science fiction books. And here we have The Towers of Toron on one side. And The Lunar Eye on the other. Next we have The Three Sons of Amara. And The Automated Goliath. The Lord of Emetin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And on the other side, Empire Star. Shall we open one of these and see if we can read something out of there? We'll try this Lunar Eye one here. I usually don't open these until I read them, but we'll open at least one. Most of the time these are in the packages, but sometimes they're not. And you hear Bert. Don't worry, he's on meds. The Lunar Eye, what do we got here? The year was 1972, and on rocket bases in the parched deserts of California and the vast wastes of Siberia, The race for the moon entered its final frenzied lap. Both America and Russia were ready to step out into space, and all that seemed in doubt was which country would set foot on the moon first. But unknown to both nations, a third force, a power far more insidious than any evil ever devised by human mind, was plotting the destruction of any rocket that tried to touch the moon's pitted surface. The key to overcoming this plot against mankind was contained in the mystery of the lunar eye, and unless its secret could be unlocked, mankind would be forever shackled within the bounds of this planet. And Kim Jong, it almost sounds like some stuff in the news these days. I won't mention any names. I don't want to. Anyway, and lastly, I think I might have showed these in a previous video, but this is this whole set of Tales from the Crypt, the TV series, and there's season 1, 2, which I'm partway through this, and I've got these last year, I think, and I'm just now getting around to watching them again. Second season, and these last 5 are sealed because I haven't started watching these yet. Third season of Tales from the Crypt. This is the origins of Caligula, if you know my clown character. I used to do on here sometimes, but now he's over on my other channel where I focus on horror theme type antics and messing around and stuff over there. The complete 4th season and the complete 5th season, Tales from the Crypt. 6th season and the 7th. Now these all, I bought these individually. They were like $5 each. But now over on Amazon or eBay, there's a box set of this series for $20. And you don't have to buy them all separate like this. It just comes all in one big set, if you're at all interested. And that's my stuff for this week. Calling over and out. Morty's running around here somewhere. I got 2 dogs. I got Bert. And we got Cola. He's a German Shepherd back there sleeping somewhere in the background. And over and out. Weirdos unite.